In this video, one-dimensional steady-state heat conduction equation for a hollow cylinder is explained. Like we already discussed one such type of equation, one-dimensional steady-state equation for a plane wall. We are following the same procedure, almost the same procedure, in order to derive the heat equation for a hollow cylinder as well. Now, for this, let us consider a hollow cylinder. This is the front view of the hollow cylinder. You can see the gray color is the solid cylinder, whereas inside of the white color is being shown, which is a hollow part of the cylinder, through which let us say the hot fluid is flowing through this, or some heat element is placed in the hollow part of the cylinder, so that the heat comes out from the center of the cylinder, the hollow part of the cylinder. Now the temperature inside the cylinder is T1, which is greater than the outside temperature T2. The outer surface of the cylinder having a temperature T2, the inner surface of the cylinder having temperature T1. Now the inner radius is R1, outer radius is R2. These are the dimensions. K is the thermal conductivity of the cylinder. Now for the discussion, let us consider a small element of the cylinder, which is been shown here. Right, this is the element of the cylinder based on which our derivation is started. Right, the boundaries are shown in the diagram. For the element, the radius from the center is as small as the temperature of the element is capital T. Right, then the L is the length of the cylinder, which is used for the area calculation. 2 pi RL is the area of the cylinder, surface area of the cylinder. Now A is cross sectional area of the cylinder. Let us start the derivation. Remember this diagram. Let us start the derivation. We have two cases. The first case is if the cylinder material having a uniform thermal conductivity throughout, which is an exceptional case, but for the problem solving, we assume the body having uniform thermal conductivity for the simplification of problem solution. In most of the cases, the body is having variable thermal conductivities, that is depending on the temperature. As long as the temperature value varies, the thermal conductivity value also varies. But as a case, we assume uniform thermal conductivity and starting the derivation. We are also going to derive the equation with the variable thermal conductivity as well in the next part of this video. Now the uniform thermal conductivity case, let us consider the general heat conduction equation that we already derived for a cylindrical object in cylindrical coordinates. From our previous videos, you can refer how we derived the general heat conduction equation for a cylinder. That is dou square T by dou R square plus 1 by R into dou T by dou R plus 1 by R square into dou square T by dou phi square plus dou square T by dou Z square plus G by K equal to 1 by alpha into dou T by dou T. This is general heat conduction equation in cylindrical coordinates. Now this general equation is now to be converted for our case, one dimensional steady state heat conduction. Now as it is a steady state equation, for steady state we already discussed the temperature change with respect to time change should be equal to 0. Dou T by dou T is equal to 0 for steady state. Then we assume there is no internal heat generation. For our simplicity, for derivation purpose, we assume there is no internal heat generation. Then G is equal to 0, so G by K is also equal to 0. And the equation we are going to derive is for one dimensional body. For one dimensional, I am assuming the heat transfer from the diagram. We have this diagram. right? Through the radius the heat transfer takes place, let us say, right? This is the radial direction, right? From the center, this is the radial direction. So through the radius, if the heat transfer takes place, by assuming like that, I'm going to consider the radial direction heat transfer only. So for one dimensional, I'm assuming the heat transfer is through radial direction r, then only the change in r is to be considered, that is a dose r square. Here we have dou r. For the remaining terms, this is a change in phi, change in z. So these two are not required, only the first two terms are sufficient for our derivation. So the equation is dou square t by dou r square plus 1 by r into dou t by dou r. Remember, in this term as well as this term, the heat changes, the direction is dou r. With respect to r, the change is there, so we need to consider both the terms. As it is one dimensional equation, it has been clearly known for us that heat transfer takes place only in r direction, so no longer we need to use the partial differentiation terms. We can use full derivative terms, d square t by dr square plus 1 by r into dt by dr. The partial differential terms dou are replaced with the full differentiation d. Now this equation, from this equation, I am making 1 by r into d by dr as common, 1 by r into d by dr. Then I can write this equation as this. Right? This is the important step for this derivation. If you understand, if you know this step, you can easily derive the equation. 1 by r into d by dr into r into dt by dr equal to 0. If you want to cross check, then cross check. Apply UV rule for this. 1 by r into d by dr into r into dt by dr. That is r get cancelled. In that case, d by dr of dt by dr is, sorry, so apply UV rule here. 1 by r into d by dr of dt by dr is d square t by dr square. R get cancelled, d square t by dr square. That is the first term. Next term, in the UV rule, 1 by then 1 by r into, now d by d sorry, yes, d by dr of dt by dr. We obtain 1 by r into dt by dr. By the application of UV rule, you can obtain. So whatever I want to say is, if you common 1 by r into d by dr from the above equation, you still get this equation. Now from this equation, let us see from our algebra, 1 by r into d by dr of r into dt by dr equal to 0. Either in order to become 0, either 1 by r should be equal to 0 or this term equals 0. But 1 by r is never 0. R has a value, the radius of the cylinder is present, a numerical value, which will never be 0. So the only chance is d by dr, the rest of the term, this term is equal to 0. There is the chance. So d by dr into r into dt by dr may be equal to 0. So by considering this case, we are proceeding. D by dr into r into dt by dr is equal to 0. Let us eliminate the differential terms by integrating the above equation. For the first integration of d by dr into r into dt by dr is a differentiation integration that cancel here. and integration of 0 is C1. Now this equation can be written as dt by t is equal to C1 divided by R. Let us integrate again. The second integration gives us here t, only t, as a differentiation integration get cancelled. T is equal to C1 into differentiation of 1 by r is log r plus C2. T is equal to C1 into log r plus C2. Let us say this is equation 1. Now we need to solve this equation. If you want to solve t, you should know C1 and C2 values, which have been arbitrary constants, which is obtained by the application of boundary conditions. The boundary conditions we know as from the diagram. At radius r equal to r1, the inner radius, temperature is T1. At outer radius r equal to r2, temperature is T2. Now apply these two boundary conditions into equation 1. Wherever you see smaller, apply r1. Wherever you see t, put t1 for the first boundary condition. At r equal to r1, t1 equal to c1 into l log in the r1 plus c2. In the second condition, wherever you see r, put r2. Wherever you see t, put t2. That will be the second boundary condition. R equal to r2, t2 is equal to c1 into ln r2 plus c2. Right? So these two are the boundary condition equations we got. Let us solve these two equations. Let us subtract these two so that c2 c2 get cancelled. Right? So t1 minus t2 equal to c1 into c1 into ln r1 minus c1 into, this is also c1 into ln r2. C2 c2 get cancelled, whereas we performed subtraction of the equations. Now this is a c1, make c1 common from these two, then the expression will become a log in r1 minus log in r2 into c1, log a minus log b, log a by b. It will be t1 minus t2 equal to c1 into ln r2 by ln r1 by r2. This will be t1 minus t2, from which we can write c1 as a c1 equal to t1 minus t2 divided by this log in term go towards the left hand side denominator, t1 minus t2 divided by ln r1 by r2. This is c1. Now substitute this c1 in either equation 2 or equation 3 as you wish. I am substituting in equation 2. One more thing, here r2 is greater than r1. R2 is greater than r1. So log r1 by r2 may gives us some wrong values. To avoid that, I am making minus common. So here it is the minus. So log in r1 by r2 becomes log in r2 by r1. Right? Log in r2 by r1 minus of. Now substitute this c1 into equation 2. I got an equation like this. T1 equal to, here it is c1 into ln r1 plus c2. From this equation, get the value of c2. This entire term from this expression go towards the left hand side and added with t1. That will be t1 plus the remaining term. This will be c2. So we got c1, we got c2. Substitute c1 and c2 into equation 1. The temperature equation we already have. T is equal to c1 into ln r1 plus c2. In that equation, substitute c1 and c2. Now T is equal to c1 is this into ln r1 plus c2 is c1 is this, this is c1 minus of c1 into ln r plus c2. This term is c2. T is equal to c1 into ln r plus c2. We got this equation after substituting c1 and c2 into that equation of temperature. Now we know the temperature. Let us try to solve a Q equation now. From the conduction. Here's the mode of heat transfer is conduction. So from the conduction equation, Fourier's law, we can write Q is equal to minus Ka dt by dx. But the heat transfer takes place in r direction, so Q is equal to minus Ka dt by dr. So Q is equal to minus Ka dt by dr minus K into A into d by dr of T. The dt by dr, T is this, divided by dr. Let us differentiate this equation with respect to r. So only terms with r are differentiable, the remaining terms are treated as constants. Differentiation of constant is 0. So d by dr of t1 is 0, d by dr of this term which have no r terms, only r1 and r2, it also becomes 0. And here it is a constant which is a coefficient of log in r, so this is obtained like this, minus K into A. A is for cylinder, the area is 2 pi RL. The surface area of the cylinder is 2 pi RL into, this is 0, this is 0, this is a coefficient, we got this as it is, minus of this, differentiation of log R is 1 by R. Now R and R get cancelled, R value get cancelled, we left with this, minus into minus is plus 2 pi KL into T1 minus T2 divided by ln R2 by R1. This is the equation for one-dimensional heat transfer through a cylinder, hollow cylinder. The equation further can be written as T1 minus T2 by ln R2 by R1 divided by 2 pi KL. Here's this term which is in denominator is here's the thermal resistance of the material. So Q is equal to T1 minus T2 is temperature difference delta T divided by RTH, thermal resistance of the material, right? So either this is so we have obtained this one and this one, either of these three as the heat transfer rate equations for a one-dimensional uh, cylindrical object through which heat conduction takes place. Thank you.